Once upon a time, in a cozy, sun-dappled forest, lived a little bear named Barnaby. Barnaby was a soft, fluffy bear with kind eyes and a happy heart. But he had one little problem. While all the other bear cubs could let out big, rumbling roars, Barnaby could only manage a tiny squeak. "You don't sound like a bear," the other cubs would giggle, puffing out their chests and letting out their best growls. Barnaby would just smile and shuffle his paws in the dirt, feeling a little bit sad and a lot left out. His best friend, a cheerful squirrel named Squeaky, would scamper down from the trees. "Don't you worry, Barnaby," Squeaky would chatter. "Your squeak is a special squeak." One sunny morning, Barnaby and Squeaky decided to go on an adventure. "Let's go see the wisest creature in the whole forest," Squeaky suggested. "Old Man Owl. He lives in the tippy top of the great oak tree." So off they went. They wiggled past tickly ferns, hopped over bumpy roots, and carefully crossed a babbling brook on a mossy green stone. Finally, they stood at the bottom of the great oak tree. It was so tall, its leaves seemed to touch the clouds. Who are you?" a gentle voice called from high above. "It's Barnaby and Squeaky," called back the little squirrel. "We need your help." Slowly, Old Man Owl fluttered down to a lower branch, his big round eyes blinking in the sunlight. Barnaby explained his squeaky problem. Old Man Owl listened patiently, and then he hooted a soft, warm laugh. "My dear Barnaby," he said kindly, "you don't need a loud roar to be a great bear. A mighty river can be very quiet until it's needed. Your squeak is yours and yours alone. It is special." Feeling a little better, Barnaby and Squeaky thanked the owl and started their journey home. When they neared their favorite berry patch, they heard a commotion. It was the other bear cubs. They had found a big beehive, hoping for a sweet honey treat, but now they were surrounded by buzzing, angry bees. The cubs were swatting and roaring, but that only made the bees angrier. Barnaby knew he had to do something. He took a deep breath, and instead of a roar, he let out his loudest, clearest squeak. The bees stopped. They had never heard such a funny sound before. It wasn't a scary roar. It was a friendly, interesting squeak. Barnaby started to dance a silly little jig, squeaking a happy tune as he moved away from the berry patch. The curious bees forgot all about the cubs and followed the delightful new sound. Once the bees were gone, the other cubs ran over to Barnaby. "Wow, Barnaby," said one, "your squeak saved us." "That was the bravest squeak I've ever heard," said another. From that day on, no one ever teased Barnaby about his squeak again. It was their special signal, their funny song, and the sound of a very brave little bear who learned that the best sound you can make is the one that is all your own. And Barnaby the bear lived happily and squeakily ever after.